Member of the National Union of Journalists, United Kingdom, Francis Hughes, for more on this new development. Perhaps this is just quite an amazing long reign that we've witnessed 70 years. But what would you consider the highlights of how she'll be remembered?
It very much depends on how you view the monarchy. People who are monarchists will say that the Queen ruled for such a long time, the longest probable monarch in history, or certainly recent history. And when you consider the size of the Commonwealth, which was a reflection of the British Empire and its occupation of nearly every country in the world, or 22, if you believe in a monarchy, you will feel that you have lost a leader, someone that the country turned to in times danger from the Second World War on up through pivotal periods of history, the Suez Canal. We had the 2008 slump financial crash, which sent the world into a recession. So the Queen of England has witnessed all this and reigned over all these things, and having appointed so many prime ministers. I guess on one level, you could very much see her as someone who has had a pivotal role in world history. And then on the other side of that, there are those, including myself, who would see the monarchy as a parasite feeding off the British taxpayer. I mean, the leader of the kingdom, king or queen, is head of the Church of England, which is the largest landowner in the United Kingdom. And they have plenty of money. They don't need money from the likes of me and poor people paying taxes in order to pay for them to rule from Buckingham Palace and to have the privileged lifestyle that they have become accustomed to. So it remains to be seen just how long it will take for Charles to be inaugurated as the next king. But as a Republican, I'm very much against the monarchy and would prefer to see an elected president as head of the country.
Oh, interesting. I'm hearing that for the first time. Perhaps her last publicized official duty would be on Tuesday when she invited Liz Truss to form the next British government. Precisely how significant will you say that is, hearing of her death days after?
Well, it's significant that she was able to perform that last duty. That'll be seen to have been her last kind of official duty as the Queen of England. Normally, that transference of power is held at Buckingham Palace, but the fact that it was done at Balmoral under medical supervision because her health was failing shows, I suppose, the strength of the woman on one level, but right up to the very end, she was able to perform the duties that are requested of her by the British government.
Charles, Prince of Wales, has been heir apparent since the age of 3. We're told he's now king. The royal family referred to Charles as king in announcing the death of Queen Elizabeth. Just how significant will that be? We're still waiting for the name he will adopt. The last time England had a king was some 70 years ago.
Yes, he's waited for 76 years. He's 76 years of age now, so he's waited all that time to inherit the position that his mother has now vacated. I suppose it is the classic scenario when one monarch dies, then the next person in the line of succession is automatically crowned, basically within the family and within the country at large as the next leader of the House of Windsor. But as I say, we're soon heading in. We're in the 22nd century, so surely it's time, or the 21st century, surely it's time that we done away with the monarchy. I don't think Prince Charles will have the same adulation from the British public as his mother has had. He will be a different monarch. He's definitely quasi-eccentric, which may come from the fact that the Queen married her cousin. I don't know what effect that has on the children, but I don't think he'll be quite as respected I don't think he'll be quite as much in the public eye, although it's a continuation of a tradition that, as I say, I think should end.
You seem to strongly believe that there's going to be a rapid transition away from the monarchy in the coming years.
No, I don't think there will be, because I think it suits the government to have this family that the people of Britain, in many cases, are kind of brainwashed from when they're born to support. They're brought up to believe that the monarchy is there to help them, to provide for them, to guide for them, when in fact all the royal family does is provide for itself. I mean, I don't really want to go down the rabbit hole of Prince Andrew and the allegations that perhaps his mother paid up to £12 million in order to silence a young woman in America who was making allegations of sexual misconduct. But I mean, the royal family has plenty of skeletons in the cupboard. The royal family has presided over the British Empire. I live in the north of Ireland, and I want to see my country reunified. And I believe that the British establishment, along with the British monarchy, have held my country in occupation for 800 years. So I'll be glad to see the back of Britain and the back of the monarchy when my country becomes reunified. And I believe all the countries in the Commonwealth, it is the people and not the governments who probably want to do away with the monarchy ruling over them, as we see more and more countries part of the Commonwealth now shun the royal family and royal visits. I think the time of the monarchy may last in Britain, but I don't think their overseas post-colonies will want to continue that association outside of Canada, Australia, and New Zealand.
When you talk about the wish of the British people, I'm just wondering how many of them you're referring to, and just exactly how can we quantify the popularity of this opinion? Would it be through a referendum, for instance?
I don't, yes, see, there'll not be a referendum whenever the government, both Labour and Conservative, are quite happy with the established order that we have. So I don't think there'll ever be a referendum where the people were never asked if they wanted a king or queen. They were never asked if they want someone to rule over them. Potentially people that have stolen their land, stolen their money, put people into the army and the navy and sent them off to militarily occupy so much of the world. I think the only way to do that is to have like a straw poll where you can ask people. I would say Republicans like myself are in the minority, but I think it's a growing minority. And I think when you have the eventual breakup of the United Kingdom, you won't have the Queen of Great Britain, you will have the Queen of England, and she will be based in London. The King, Charles, will be based in London, and the UK, as it is constituted at the moment, I think within the next 20 years, you'll see it completely fracture. As Ireland reunifies, Scotland goes for independence. I don't think they will want an English king ruling over Scotland. And that just leaves the Welsh. And more people, more and more Welsh nationalists are seeking independence from England.
Interesting. As monarch, the Queen is automatically granted a publicly funded state funeral, and we expect to have details of that in the coming hours. Member National Union of Journalists, United Kingdom, Francis Hall, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the news tonight.
Thank you.